What's up, YouTube world? Came on here to give a little review of the United Impact game from the 30th. I know it's late, but I have my nephews here, my sister staying here, so there's a whole lot of commotion, a lot of ruckus that I don't want to have in the back of the video. They're gone, so yeah, I'm doing it. Um, so chat is crazy, but anybody that follows United, this video is for you. Anybody that doesn't, hop on the wagon. I've been following Knights since like '07 or so, since I started when I started college. I wanted a team to support that didn't have any affiliations with teams that would go against the teams that I support. And who wants to be a Wizards fan? So I started following United. And I wasn't really into soccer, but as it came along, I started to follow more and more and more. Now I'm just a fan of the sport. But back to United. Um, it's been turbulent. Several years. Um, a lot of sadness, but finally, we're able to uh, have some happy moments. Um, First, I'll start the game. At the beginning of the game, it was a little nerve wracking because it seemed like Impact was on the attack from first minute, and we were playing defensive, which is indicative of years past. And we had just lost that match against Red Bull. So it made me kind of nervous to see how this expansion team, without a whole lot of talent on his roster, is coming in and just if you watch the highlights, you'll see it. Um, that was always going to happen the entire game. That first, say, 5 or 6 minutes. Um, After that, it was just United show. And things that set apart this team from the past are the fundamentals. If you watch, if you watch them play this year and then watch highlights of years past, you see that Ben Olsen has really implemented, a routine of take care of the fundamentals and the rest of it, play out. Um, Passing is one of the biggest things that I've noticed since even last year. Last year, there was a lot of passes that were being intercepted that were just terrible passes, had no place in, the whole scheme of what was going on in the game. Um, but this year is different. You see them taking on a lot more finesse passing, a lot of lob passes, and to get players into space that you didn't see before. Um, Also, United is on a much more attacking mode. Years past was just if we scored, so be it. But this year has been we're going to set the tempo and then kept that pace throughout the entire game. That was the one thing. After that 5 minute mark or so, he just started whomping ass. It started off right before halftime. Chris Pontius had a beautiful shot. He broke a couple ankles along the way, and he got that first goal at like the 45-minute mark because there's I think 2 minutes added on to the first half. Um, Second half was, halftime is just what it is. They had some ultimate frisbee players out there and some other things. Not too usually do. Well, I never seen that at a game recognized, but at RFK. But so that was cool and everything, but you know, boring nonetheless. Um, so I actually went to go get some food, and second half came around. I'm still getting my food. It's actually a new spot. It's the Caribbean food, the jerk chicken, jerk ribs, and everything. It was pretty good. Don't get the rice. The rice is just salty. The beans aren't cooked right, but the chicken was pretty good. And it's a good deal. Cheapest beer they got restaurant beer for $5. What's that mean? So it's better than paying $8 for a bud. For $9, whatever I paid. Um, Second half rolled around. I'm still getting my food. I'm just about to pay for my food to get back to my seat. And uh, we scored the second goal. I think it was an assist by Dayro to Russell, who had a beautiful header into the goal. Um, that was probably the 48th 8th minute mark or something. It was right after the second half started. And that was just the tempo that was set. It was shots on goal, and that's another change from years past is that it's not just errant shooting. There's been a lot more shots on goal this year that they're not just randomly shooting. Even if they're shooting out, from damn near midfield, it's still made it into somewhere near the goal at least, so that the forwards have a play on the ball. So they can set him up. So if there's if the ball's deflected, he's there. So it opens those opportunities. Third goal of the game came at the in stoppage time. It was 91st minute or so. Uh, oh no, I'm sorry, I might be confusing him. I think the Russell header came at the 90th minute mark. And no, I'm sorry. Hamid Salih, he had the goal in stoppage time. It was just a beautiful orchestrated pass, but a goal nonetheless. MLS, they got to work out the referee situation because there were penalties being called when there clearly weren't. I mean, a player falls down in relation to another player, and you know the free kick, and it was annoying because Dayro should have had at least 2 goals that game. Once early in the game, and later on when Phil Hamid kicked the ball damn near to the other end of the field, and he's right there. I mean, the referees can easily blow a game in MLS, and it's terribly annoying. Can't stand that shit. It's driving me crazy. Um, but along with the fundamentals, the players, Chris Pontius is just coming to his own. I mean, he started last year before he got injured, but he's just come back with a vengeance this year. And it's just Ben Olsen's been getting these guys, Mike Santos and the likes to come and play at a higher level than what anybody's seen from them. And so it's opened a lot of doors for the offensive attack. Defense is still, it's still coming along. Um, uh, because I think they got such an offensive mindset. The players aren't playing as great defense as they could. It's almost you're gonna sacrifice one for the other. Um, however, we're scoring goals and we can keep scoring goals. And keep the damage down to a little. Keep the damage down a little. I think we'll be fine. Um, so yeah, with the fundamentals, player skill, you know, I'm looking for big things out of United this year. I'm gonna follow them every game. It's hard to though because I don't have cable, so all I can do is watch the highlights and the feed coming in through Twitter and all those things and everything. Um, they have that match day for on MLSsoccer.com, but I don't like it too much. It's kind of slow and yeah. But this season, so the second part of the video was RFK. What can I say? RFK has seen its glory days and they're long faded. And for a team like United, it's only right that they should have their own stadium that's designed for them and not this multi-purpose, antiquated stadium that DC doesn't want to get rid of because they're going to lose their land rights and all that is garbage. If you watch my other videos, ever since they said they might come to Baltimore, I've been excited. But at the same token, one was my first actual home game last year at RFK. You know, I don't really see. I won't want to see that happen. That's the only thing what my parents went through with the Colts moving to Indianapolis. Um, but because it's such a strong tradition that's been built and created there. To see it just thrown away, be heartbreaking. There've been news about potential investors and down Buzzard Point, but RFK is just it's drab, it's mundane, um, especially when it's not a full crowd there. You get a certain seat, like I was at on the we call it quiet side. The only thing I could get, which is $45, because the game was damn near a sellout. for the capacity it was, what they limited the capacity to, it was technically almost technically a sellout. So I was looking to see that I had, which was section 310, row 13, seat 14. Um, it was you have the overhang from the upper deck, so you cannot see the scoreboard. You can hardly see the ribbon board, but you also don't see that huge top that's blanket. When I was at last year, I was right on the sidelines, one row back, and you get to see how cavernous it is, and it just feels so empty. And also was only maybe 12,000 people there, but it was also they caught a whole lot of rain and stuff. So it's not suited for DC United needs. Um, I mean, even the pitch is so far set off from the seat that I have problems with vision as is. Um, However, I should be able to at least get a gauge of who it is that's taking the shot. I couldn't tell all three goals. Well, I missed the second one, but the first and last goal, I couldn't see who it was. It's set back so far away. So by the time you're in the seat that I was at, you're 150 feet from pitch. So, you know, if they took that into consideration, it's hard to follow the game at certain times. Also, the facilities are just the bad things. Everybody talks about the bad things, but they are just that bad. They put up little signs, let you know where the bad things are at, instead of just little flat things on there. But come on now, that was what $50. I mean, there's not much you can do to make that an acceptable facility for soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's just it doesn't have that intimate feel. And that's one thing. I mean, if you watch the Premier League or La Liga or whatever, you'll notice that all the soccer-specific stadiums of the world, because the world sport is the biggest sport. You look at those stadiums, and you're right there on the action. You're in together. I mean, it's just it is. Everybody knows about RFK and how sad it is, what sad the situation is.